Hello, January is done. It's over. It's gone. We are officially in February, and so what a perfect time to look back at the first month of 2024. I kind of want to reflect and talk about what books I read this month, what new video games I tried this month, and then some pure accountability stuff regarding work and finances. I want to share all the details, okay? We're going to hold each other accountable, please. I need you. Let's get right into it. First up, books. For the month of January, I had a goal of reading 2 books, and I ended up reading 4. I want to review these books in a completely spoiler-free way, mostly focusing on the vibe of the book and how it felt to read it, because I feel like just giving you guys a summary of the novel does nothing. And the first one I read was A Million Little Pieces by James Frey. There was a lot of controversy surrounding this book, which I'm not really going to get into here. A Million Little Pieces details a young man's journey through rehab, and it's marketed as a memoir, which makes you think that it's nonfiction. However, there were a lot of made-up parts. It took me a while to get through because of the writing style, but once I finished it and I digested it and I thought about it, my final thoughts on it, spoiler-free, are that ultimately I think it's dangerous for addicts to read, and I don't think I benefited much from reading it. I think the main character's view on AA is very dangerous and I think it's bordering on irresponsible. However, from a purely entertainment standpoint, it was fine. I think I rated it like 3 stars on Goodreads. You can read it for yourself if you're curious. However, if you are an addict, I would probably stay away. The next book I read was Tress of the Emerald Sea by Brandon Sanderson. I am trying to become more of a fantasy girly, even though it's not really my thing. And this was a cute, easy little read. If you are not super into fantasy, it's a great introduction. Basically, it's about a nice girl who lives a simple life and something awful happens to the man that she loves, and she takes it upon herself to go save him. And it's a story about how simple people can do extraordinary things. It was a very easy read. It was entertaining. At times, I felt a little bit too old for it, which I didn't love, but it's also very self-aware and quite funny. The ending felt a little rushed, but overall, I thought it was 4 stars. In this book, the stakes are high, but it never feels too heavy. So if you want a fantasy that's not too stressful, that's just kind of good vibes, despite the situation being quite serious, then I would definitely recommend it. Also, the world is gorgeous. I'm not gonna get into it too much, but the universe they live in is very interesting. The next book I read was None of This Is True by Lisa Jewell. This is more up my alley. It's a thriller, mystery, crime novel kind of thing. It's about a podcaster, Alex, who begins a new project and she's interviewing a woman named Jody. Jody's lived a difficult life and they're just unpacking some of her traumas and whatnot in the format of a podcast. But halfway through the project, Jody disappears and Alex, the podcaster, is left to unravel the mystery of who this person is, what happened to her life, and she's basically left to pick up the pieces. This is one of those books that has a lot of twists and turns and leaves you wondering what is real and what is not. Like, what do you believe, what do you not believe? I think it was an interesting story told through a creative perspective with the podcast aspect. There were some aspects that were lacking. I'm sorry, the dogs are fighting. Mainly pertaining to motive, in my opinion. And I would really like to talk to somebody who's read it about the ending. Let's discuss. Please tell me somebody here has read this book. I think I also rated this one 4 stars on Goodreads, which, by the way, I'll put my Goodreads account in the description if you're not already following me on there. And finally, the last book I read this month is Slewfoot, A Tale of Bewitchery by Brahm. I do not have the words to describe this book, and I don't know why I loved it as much as I did. It's set in 1666 in Connecticut, so you can probably already pick up where this is going. This is a book about supporting women's rights, but also women's wrongs. It's a story about love and life and death and good and bad, paganism versus Puritans. It's about discovering who you are and deciding who you are. And it's also about revenge. It has a pretty slow pace, but that never once bothered me, which is a testament to the author's writing style. It's so atmospheric and it's so harsh at times, but soft at others. I don't know if I'd recommend this book to everybody. I have this gut feeling that most people might find it a little boring, but I loved it. It's dark, it's moody, it sucked me right into the universe. So my goal was 2, I read 4 books. I'd give myself a grade of 10 out of 10 for books this month. Let's move on to the new games I tried this month. All right, we're at my PC now to talk about the new games that I tried this month. I didn't have a specific goal for this. I guess I want to try at least 1 new game a month because I tend to fall into a cycle of just replaying the same things again and again. And so this month I actually tried out 4 new games. The new games I tried are Garden Galaxy, Card Shark, Death and Taxes, and Pal World. Garden Galaxy I loved so much. It was gifted to me by my friend Jamie. It's essentially a collection game, an organizing game, and a decorating game. Basically, at its core, these little guys show up and they drop coins when you click on them. And when you put the coins into this thing right here, it spits out an item. Now there are several collections that you can complete, so if you're a completionist, this game is for you. And you can build up and decorate a bunch of different biomes. It is so relaxing, the music is great, the art style is so pretty, and there's a ton of little like secrets here and there and other things you can do, but I don't want to spoil it all for you guys. So this is definitely a game that I would recommend checking out. It's also only $10 USD, so if you're looking for a new kind of idle, relaxing game, I would definitely recommend picking up Garden Galaxy. The next new game I tried is called Card Shark. I had never heard of this one before, but I picked it up during the Steam sale because it looked so cool. It's an adventure game about being sneaky and deceiving people through card tricks. Essentially, you're scamming people, okay? But it's really fun. It's made by Devolver, which is pretty sick. And the art style is breathtaking. I love it so much. The ambience is perfect. Everything about this game is so well done. You learn how to do all of these card tricks, and they do translate to real life. You could technically learn how to do these tricks IRL too. You and your partner practice these card tricks that you use against people to cheat in games and win a bunch of money. There are difficulty options. Sometimes it gets a little bit stressful because you have to pull off these tricks fast without anybody getting suspicious. So you could set it to easy if you just want to kind of enjoy the game, enjoy the story, enjoy learning about all these card tricks. The next new game I tried is called Death and Taxes. You act as the Grim Reaper, but in an office setting, okay? And so you get to decide every day who lives and who dies. You read through their profiles. You usually have a quota. Your big boss will tell you how many people have to die and give you specific instructions, and you have to decide who makes it. It did feel a little bit repetitive, and honestly, I know it's just a game and it's not real. It's not real, but I felt bad killing people, which is so silly. Like, girl, you bought a game called Death and Taxes. Of course you're gonna have to kill people. The consequences of your actions are yours to deal with. There are choices in this game, obviously, and they all matter. So it is really interesting. I think I need to give it a little bit more time to explore the story a little bit more. It's also very cheap. I think it's like under $5. So if that sounds interesting to you, I'd recommend checking it out for that price. You can't really go wrong. And finally, I tried Pal World this month. This game was also gifted to me by a friend. This game feels like a mashup of several different games, and it is a lot of fun. It's a survival game. It's a PvE, I'm pretty sure. I haven't even played multiplayer yet. I only played it a handful of times. Basically, you collect pals, kind of like Pokemon, and they fight for you. However, it's a lot more than that. They could also have guns and shoot people, and it's so freaking funny. I feel like I've only scratched the surface of this game. There is a lot to explore, a lot to do. You could sink so many hours into this game. I could feel the pull of it constantly, but I have other stuff to do. So of the four, surprisingly, my favorite has been Garden Galaxy. I love playing that game while watching a show or a YouTube video on my other monitor. It's so relaxing, it's so fun. Have you tried any new games this month? Have you played Pal World? What do you actually think? Let's talk about it. All right, and finally, it's time for some accountability. How did I do in terms of my work, and how did I do in terms of my finances? For my finances, I mean specifically, how many times did I eat out or order out? Because that is my main issue. I set a goal for myself that I would only order out 2 times this month, max. The results are in. I looked through my Uber Eats order history, and I ordered out 13 times. 13. 1, 3. So that's a little bit more than twice a month. Here's the reason. I have not done groceries since before Christmas. I think it's because spending a large sum of money all at once stresses me out. Like, it does something to my brain. So I'm like, oh, 20 bucks for like Tim Hortons breakfast, that's fine. But then of course it's 20 bucks like times 13. But I'm happy to report, as of filming this, it's February 2nd. I did groceries yesterday, bestie. To make up for the crazy amount of times that I ordered in January, my goal for February is to order out 0 times. I'm gonna struggle. How many times did you eat out? How many times did you order out? And lastly, work. Let's talk about it. If you're watching this video, you've probably had a decent idea of how much I've posted, or I would hope so. But the final tally for the month of January is I posted 25 YouTube shorts. I'm so satisfied with that. I also hit my goal with long form videos, which was to post one a week every week. So in the month of January, I posted 4. So I'm very happy with that. I'm proud of myself. I feel accomplished. I feel good. As for TikToks, I posted 16. I pulled back in the second half of the month because I decided I needed to change gears a little bit and change up my content on there. Same thing with Instagram Reels. I posted 13 Reels this month. I am happy with that. I want to post more, but again, I have to change gears a little bit because what I was posting wasn't working, and so I have to go back to the drawing board, which is kind of what I'm doing right now, and hopefully we can come back stronger in February. What about you guys? How is work going? How is everything going? Let's talk about it. Have you made steps to accomplish your goals for the year? Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope that you guys got something out of it maybe. I don't know, even if it's just like a book recommendation or something, could be fun. I am just a girl who is constantly trying to better herself. So maybe we could work on that together, make good decisions in February, and help each other reach our goals, you know? So subscribe if you haven't already. I'd really appreciate it. I do have goals that I'm trying to hit on YouTube as well. Otherwise, I'll see you on stream or something, I guess. Bye. You're annoying.